Welcome back into SCV Today, and it is the segment for the new Vice President of the United States of Tammy. Mike Bjorkman is here.
Well, hello.
Wow, you change when you become presidential,
Absolutely.
vice presidential.
Is my face still red from totally cracking up earlier? It's one thing when you're on the show every week in the beginning, you're real nervous about the cameras, and now I know you guys a little better, and now it's just, now I feel like one of the monkeys.
Hey, with a monkey.
We may have something going on Facebook that will show
No,
you just
we
exactly what he's talking about.
You're still putting that out.
Yeah. All right, let's jump right into it because the new luxury homes in the United States of Tammy, or Santa Clarita, whichever ones you want to talk about right now. Maybe the ones in Santa Clarita?
Maybe the ones in Santa Clarita, yeah. One of the great things that happens when our market picks up is the luxury market starts moving around again. And lately we've got a lot of new luxury listings. So what's really nice about opening that market up is the move-up buyers aren't slammed against a wall. So the condo buyers buy the first house buys the second house, then they buy the bigger one, then they move up to luxury. Well, now we have luxury inventory again. People can afford to sell. Self-employed people's businesses are starting to move around, so it's good. And so we're welcoming that back to Santa Clarita.
So I noticed the other day you listed a home, someone that I know, a luxury home, and a beautiful home, but I think they might actually be downsizing now. Their kids are gone.
Yeah.
So are you finding that that's happening
That
a
is
lot
always
now?
happening to me. Being in the business 20 years, again, you watch people go up and then you go down. I mean, I'm literally selling homes to people that I sold their first home to. Their kids are now, 20 years old, and I'm selling them homes. And
I wanted to buy it, but it's about 1.5 million too much for me.
yeah, that's a beautiful home.
You know what? That actually raises a question. What is the definition of a luxury home? I mean, what's the base of that?
That's a great question. A lot of people ask me that all the time because there's a lot of cutoffs across the country as far as marketing. In California, most people consider 750 or above luxury. Across the country, it's about 5 to 550. So a lot of our Santa Clarita homes qualify for luxury, which is good for my marketing because when I market a luxury home, we do things much differently. Like that can automatically go on Wall Street Journal, DuPont Registry, things that other agents can't or won't do. My marketing then gets to launch into a whole nother realm of luxury marketing,
I would
which
be
is way
assuming
different.
with the companies that we have here that are constantly bringing in CEOs and
Yeah.
higher ranking people within a company that could afford the luxury homes, that you need to market a little differently outside of California as well.
Oh yeah, what we do is we put a national plan together, and that was really great. But now that we have the internet, we have international marketing plans as well. There's a lot of websites dedicated for luxury real estate that we put our homes on, uniquehomes.com. We even have luxury MLSs like Proxio Pro, things like that that sort of clientele will go to those websites, that type of MLS, and then that type of agent. So it's a much different game in luxury marketing. Like, for instance, I'm a proud graduate of the Luxury Institute, and it's a whole different set of certifications for luxury property because we market them differently. Most agents will say, oh no, we market them exactly the same. We don't want to give a $2 million home any preferential treatment over a condo, and that's what they say to everybody under $2 million, but the $2 million homeowner knows much different type of buyer, much different type of marketing plan needed, and that's where I step in.
And you actually just answered my next question because I wanted to know because you're going to market it differently, do you have to have an education, a separate, an additional bit of education to get yourself up to speed on a different way?
Absolutely. Every part of real estate, like there's buyer specialists, there's senior citizen specialists, there's 1031 exchange specialists. One of the designations that I actually helped create and then been part of other ones is the luxury designation. And we need to have our agents out there a little more educated so they're not treating these homes like a condo, because let's be honest, we can sell that all day long. I have a list of buyers in my pocket right now. I can sell a condo to 10 different people today. But like that $2 million home you're talking about, that's a little different. There's only a few people in Santa Clarita that can afford that home, so now I have to really broaden my search and use technology as well as my networking skills and connections across the country and of course other countries to bring that activity in. One of my specialties is tracking. So we have up to 7 different reports that I could prove to the owner of a luxury home, not only were we doing way different things, but where the calls are coming from. And you'll see, for instance, I was looking at the report the other day, the DuPont Registry actually syndicates another bunch of websites. So anybody searching 1 million plus, we actually had hundreds of views in one day. That's something nobody else does. So it's, it's unique marketing, and we're really proud of it.
And I'm assuming that agent relationships are very important.
Huge.
So what do you do when you list a home to reach out to other agents in Santa Clarita Valley to say, this is what I've got from your buyers?
Well, most of them I know or I've trained, and I have all their cell phone numbers, and we use social media. We have several different local Facebook pages that the agents are very active on. I send them an email blast, and then we have different network groups. Like I'm part of the SCV network. We're the top 20 agents in town from all different companies. So we meet every Tuesday and we discuss our properties coming up or our buyers coming up, and we match together. So there's a lot of things like that. So when you talk about luxury homes, I've actually purchased software that can handle marketing email blasts. I hate to call it that, but let's say email marketing to over 1 million agents across the country. They're going to know about this home. So it's kind of neat because in real estate, I have to sell the home twice. First to the agents, because over 97% of all the buyers already have an agent, then to the public. So it's it's a little bit backwards, but it makes sense.
Right.
We want to get the higher prices in a quicker amount of time, so we have to do what's necessary.
And one of the things that I find really fascinating, I just get glued and listening to everything you're saying, is the level of sophistication you use with marketing. Because I think a lot of people just think selling real estate, it's a simple thing. You stick a sign out on the property and that's it.
Right.
It is so much more involved.
Yes.
What you're talking about. I mean, so much more involved.
It is, to the point where we spend about, we talk about commissions. What do agents do with their commissions? Well, the people that I work with actually pay for their own marketing. So if I'm going to collect on my side a 3% commission, we know at least 1% is going to go directly to marketing. So if it's a $2 million home, that's approximately a $60,000 commission. So I have a very humongous chunk and a very humongous responsibility, which is unusual because no other industry is like mine. I have to take all the risk. I have to spend all that money up front. I'm not even sure if this house is going to sell or if the owner's going to take it off the market. You never know. So it's unique. So we go into it differently, but in order to be successful and to properly market these homes, I have to do that. And people know I'm willing to.
That's a great question for someone looking to list their home, to ask you, what are you going to do, or any realtor that they're interviewing, what are you going to do to market my home?
Right.
Do you have a set budget to market my home?
Right.
Because I bet a lot of agents out there don't have a budget. And they're
Exactly, and I have a free report on my website, 20 things to ask a realtor when you're going to interview them. And of course, a lot of those questions are based around what exactly are you going to do? But time is gone of the days where you can put a sign up, put the home in MLS, put a lockbox up. We need to literally spend a lot of time. And it's broken down just the way I said it. It's about 25% social media, 25% internet marketing, 25% marketing to the public with other things, homes and land, different websites, and then the other 25% is working on the agents. So it's broken down just like that. It's a lot of work. It really
I've
is.
noticed that there used to be a day when, there were magazines and newspapers and with big real estate sections, and you don't have those anymore.
Right.
So
People ask me all the time, Mike, why are you still in Homes and Land and Real Estate Book? They say, internet is the wave of the future. Well, you're right. We know that over 90% of all buyers start on the internet. Here's what my competition doesn't realize, and here's what people don't realize until they interview me, is the only reason I'm in those print advertiser magazines is, number one, because I want a buyer to know they can always find my phone number. But really, if you Google Santa Clarita Real Estate, not only do I come up first, but then eventually you're going to see these top websites, Homes and Land, Real Estate Book. If I'm not advertising in their print magazines, I don't get on their websites. And people say, oh, now I get it. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, how would you like to have a link to your home on one of the top 10 real estate websites in the country? Yes, please. So now I have them on Zillow, Trulia, my own websites, Realtor.com, Homes and Land, Real Estate Book. So any buyer that's actually motivated and seriously looking for a property, it's impossible not to find one of my listings.
right.
All right, let me ask this question, because I was trying to sell my house that I own last spring, and it didn't work. And I was flat told, we've reduced price, all these things. I was flat told it was marketed completely wrong.
Could be.
Now, here's my question. Where do people who are interested in buying, obviously they're going to want to come through an agent, they're going to want to talk to an agent, but I because of the internet, they're starting to look more. Is that the main source anymore for potential buyers who are now interested? Is they're doing their own research and going through different real estate?
That's exactly what it is. Every buyer knows. And what's interesting now, 30% of all home searches are done mobile. So that's why I went out and got the app. That's why I have the mobile search. But you'll see the top dogs, Trulia, Zillow, Realtor.com, they all have apps now because that's how people want to search. So yes, If you're not advertised on the internet properly, you're not going to be found. And one step further that we do, we advertise on those websites. Not that I want to, it's very expensive, but it works. If I know a buyer is going to be at least on these top websites, I have to put all my marketing efforts towards those websites first, especially if 30% are coming off mobile, 70% are coming off a desktop. It's crucial that my client's home is seen. And what's even better is when I advertise, the calls come directly to me, not just the front desk where God only knows where that call ends up. It comes directly to my cell phone. If you call my office right now, it'll ring my desk and it says, okay, I'm not here, hold on, it's going to my cell phone now. I want to get those phone calls. I need to get those properties, the answers on those properties answered for the buyers. Or they may go somewhere else and never have a chance again.
All about communication. It's all about working hard.
That's why Mike Bjorkman's the best.
He is.
And it's all about working hard.
It's all about working hard.
Working hard.
Today's show was brought to you by Working Hard.
So we are going to go take over that certain country that I said. I don't know if I could say that because there's thousands and thousands and thousands of miles of beach. Everybody gets a
You
homestead.
said Mexico. You said we're
Yes.
going to take over Mexico.
I love Mexico. That's my favorite place in the world. And everybody that works hard gets an acre on the beach, and we're just going to fill it all up all the way around the country until it's done.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I could do that as vice president.
You'll have to ask me for permission.
We'll talk about that off air.
That one's for the website. We'll see how that goes. There's going to be several things on the website you're going to want to see on this one.
CBD.com.
Mike, thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you.
it, as always,
you
talking
very
about
much.
the real estate of the new United States of Tammy. When we, when we come back, we are going to have Color Couture. One of us, not Bjorkman.
You're in your skivvies today.
I'm trying to set up a possible tease to see Tammy in her skivvies.
No, Monica said Dave Caldwell is going to be the one in his skivvies. And she's here personally. So you better strip down.